Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Linux series. Everything you need to know to start your Linux journey. Up to now, we have been moving ourselves around the file system. Today, we start moving the file system themselves. In this tutorial, you will learn file manipulation, copying files and the directories, how you can moving as well as the rename the files. Or here, the command which I will show you, which is one of the very confusing, especially when you are starting. Same command is useful for moving as well as the renaming. Then we will also see how we can safely remove the files and how RMDIR is super helpful. We will also have the quizzes. All these things we will cover in this tutorial. Let's switch to the terminal and start with the very first command, cp, which is used for the copying files as well as the directory. If you want to copy something, for example, if I were to copy this restore, right? So what I could do, I could simply just make a copy of it. I can see, okay, so you could see this one. Okay, I have just copied this file as a or restore.sh into one dash restore.sh. So I really don't have to provide any of the path. But in case, for example, if I go and check over here, so it has options, source and the directory, or simple here you could see source and the destination. But in our case, what happened? Source and the destination are the same. For example, if you want to copy this restore.sh file inside the dsoccube-1 directory, since both the file and the directory are in the same location, we don't need to mention the source and the destination separately. Now we have a copy of the file inside the soccube-1 directory as well as in the home directory. If you want to copy and rename the file at the same time, you can run this command cp restore.sh dsoccube-1/2 restore.sh. If we check with ls dsoccube-1, we will see this file over here to restore.sh inside the directory. This is another way to copy files. If you want to check the help or see the available options, you can use cp-help. Now let's see the most important and useful options. Let's say we want to copy the directory. Okay, so dsoccube, okay, and I want to copy this over here. And it says, okay, cpr, and because this was the source and this was the destination, omitting directory dsoc1, right? So let's see what happened. Then we will see this. So this is not able to do anything. And when I say lsdsoc3, we do not have anything. So what we need to do when we use, right, the file, we use r, okay, recursively, dsoccube and inside the dsoc. Right, now let's see. And you could see we copy the directory. Okay, this is one way to copy the directory. Okay, if you have a empty directory or something like this, so here you always see you can copy, you use the -r, okay, just for the recursive. You also have option v, okay, which is verbose. So for example, let's do something like this. So again, r not specify, omitting the directory, so we have to provide r and verbose. So when you have multiple files, so at the moment we do not have any of the files. Let me copy restore in this. Okay, and now let me clear the screen and read something. So now you could see when I put v, it means it also let me know what are the operation it has performed. Okay, there is one more way. You could also do something like this. Oops, sorry, not one. Sorry for this. Interactive. So it asks, do you want? Let's say yes. Okay, then it has override this. Okay, so interactive when you want to copy. But when you are sure what you are copying, then you really don't worry about, right? There is one more way. Okay, this is the cp command. Let's see one more command. Okay, and which is mv. Okay, so for example, mv is just to use. So let me check something for mv. So it says move in bracket. It also mentioned rename. This is one of the very confusing command in Linux, especially initially. And why it's confusing? Because it moves as well as it also rename the file. Okay, so let's see both the operations one by one. If you want to explore, I'm just explaining you. You really don't need to go to. I mean, it's up to you if you want to go ahead and explore. But here the thing is, if you want, like when I started, I was literally paranoid for learning the things, and I learned each and every option. But honestly, we really don't use all the options. Okay, so I maybe sometimes later I will show or share my notes with you how I learn. So for example, men Alice, and I literally go with each and every option, each and every example. So guys, we should not do that. I mean, it's good if you know, there is no harm to learn, right? But the thing is, that's why we have main pages for, right, where we find what, right? So that's why I'm accessing and showing you again and again main pages, right? So let's come back to the point. I was talking about MV. So in MV command, right? So what example I thought, let me list again. And here MV, yeah. So let's first rename this file. Let's give it a name, something like 3, because 2 we already had before. So I'm putting like this. Okay, and now if I check, okay, so what it has done, it has renamed this. And how? Because source and destination both are it's same. Okay, but now let me rename it again. So 3, and I would like to make it 1 again. Okay, so now file is same, but this time what I'm gonna do, mv1. And let me first check what do we have in test. Okay, we don't have any. What I'm gonna do, mv1 restore, and I'm just putting like this. And now this time what happened, this file has moved to test directory. Simple, right? And let me move it back to test 1, and where I want to move it, here. Okay, so here it means, let me so if we comment this out, so this command is not going to execute. Let me just put like pwd. All right, and here if you see, so p dot, it means the current directory where I am. This file is already over here or not, let me first check. Okay, so this is inside the test. So what I'm gonna do, okay, let's put like this. So destination is defined, and destination is this one. Okay, where this helpful, like if you are in a directory where the path is really long, okay, and you don't have to provide all the information. What you could do, simply put a dot, it means wherever, from wherever. For example, I copy a command slash ssh underscore config dot d inside this directory, or let's say config. Okay, so from that directory in etc, I want that file, the config file should be come in my current directory where I am. So when I execute like this, so I can find this file. And if you see, it took little time to see where is the file. So what you could do, simply you could execute this command, and you directly come over here at this line where you can find, okay, this was the last file created in this command, or this option is really helpful when you have lots of file. And so you really don't have to scroll a little bit up, or all the way up, or all the way down. Directly execute this command, you will find what happened, or what command that executed at the end. Okay, so that was about move command or mv command, right? Next, one thing, touch command, I want to let you know. Okay, first of all, let's see what do we have over here. Okay, so touch is a command which creates empty file, okay, or update a timestamp. Okay, so let's say test 1.txt. Let's go ahead with that. So again, the same thing, I can use this option and I can find, okay, last file was created over here. So in order to create an empty file, okay, you use a command touch. Okay, and if you want to change timestamp of any of the file, okay, for example, this one, this was created on this one. Okay, so let me copy this and put it over here. I didn't do anything, I just said touch 1 restore. Okay, and now if we run, so you could see before it's a time was something like this 1706, and now it's the timestamp has updated. So you could use this command for both to create an empty file as well as to update the timestamp. Okay, and why do you want to create an empty directory? So when we see the files management, okay, then I will explore more about it. Okay, but for timing the short explanation, maybe you in your program, okay, you need a file where you could write a particular data. Okay, So what you could do, you could create a command. I mean, you could create a file using this command. So it's similar like when you have to write something, right? You have a plan something to, let's say you want to learn Linux and you want to create your notes. So what you will do, you buy a notebook, right? If you want to create your handwritten notes, and after that you will write it, right? So similarly, touch is also the same. It creates one empty file, okay, which does not have anything at all, right? There are more ways to create file, but this today I wanted to talk about only touch. So far what I have explained cd command, okay, I have explained ls command, I have explained pwd command, right, prints the current working directory. I also explained the copy, okay, I also explained mv, right, I also explained rm, I think rm I did not touch. So now we are going to see how we can remove this, okay, and for this we have option RMDIR, okay. In order to remove the directory, what I could do, I could say RMDIR and it says directory not empty. All right, RMDIR, this of 3, it is also not, so mkdir and test2. And now let's say RMDIR. So first check, do we have anything? We do not have anything in test, okay. So RMDIR test2 and it's gone. So RMDIR is a command, this one I'm talking about, which is really helpful in order to create a empty directory. So for example, you are a system administrator and you don't know, um, on the system there are lots of files, right? Lots of files created and you really don't know which file should I delete, right? For admin we have very good command RMDIR, very good. Just execute this command, all the empty directory will be deleted, okay. And if you are concerned, okay, what happened about my data, so it says failed to remove directory not empty, so empty directory will not be removed, right? So in that way this is really helpful, okay. I used to clean up the server several times this command, and that's very helpful, okay. But how we will remove the files, okay? So in order to remove the files, we have command rm. Okay, when I execute like this rm and I wanted to remove test1.txt, remove. Okay, I wanted to remove ssh config, no. Okay, config, remove. Do we have? We don't have. I wanted to remove now, or I want to remove now, not wanted to. Let's remove this. Let me remove the directory. So is a directory, right? So in this case, what happened? Yes, the same command we can use, because RMDIR remove the directory which directory is empty. So if, and what happened when, so do we have any content in test? No. So RMDIR is the command by which we can remove. So it's removed. But now I want to remove these two directories. Okay. So if I run this command RMDIR and this OQ, it says it's not empty. Okay. Then I run this one. So how I remove this one? Because for remove directory, this command, it is not allowing me. Okay. And RM command is to remove the files. So here the answer is very simple. Uh, RM command can be used to remove directory as well as the file. And honestly, I really don't use RMDIR except I have to, when I have to remove the empty directories. Okay, so quickly, main RM, right? So remove files or directories. So RM command is very powerful, literally powerful. Okay, and if something is powerful, so we know Peter's law. Okay, you know Peter Parker's law. If you've seen Spider-Man, okay, great power comes with great responsibility. So execute this command very responsibly, okay. But anyways, it's dangerous, but you have to learn it. So how you perform this, so let me show you again. Here the option and the file. So we know file, it means directory or file, anything, everything is file in the Linux, right? And here we also have this manual page document and all these things, if you want to just read it. And here the option is force, which I'm going to use. I want to force, and when I use this, okay, then it is going to delete everything. So for example, rm minus r. Okay, let me show you one more thing. I think we already talked about dash r is the recursive option, where it is here. So it says recursive, remove directories and their contents recursively. Okay, and we also have verbose options. So most of the options are um, how to say, I mean, common in most of the things. Okay, so you may open the again main pages again and go ahead and see. So even for this today, this is showing you guys, I really do not have any script or anything written somewhere, but I hope I'm able to explain the concept. So it's not like, okay, we do first this thing, that thing, but I know one thing. What I wanted to show you first, wanted to show you create a directory and file, and at the end I wanted to show you the remove, and this command is at the end. So we have dash r option recursive, we have dash v option, and here we also have option remove empty directory. So this is also helpful if you want to delete the empty directories. Okay, why I'm explaining these options to you for your practice. Okay, don't say I do not have practice questions. So make your own practice questions using these options and explore main pages more. Okay, now we are going to use this powerful command with all of these options in one go. rm-r fv and I. Okay, and what I want to delete the sock cube. All right, so descendant into directory. Okay, let's, yes, remove regular file. Yes, I want to remove directory. Yes, remove. So it has removed everything from, so it started from very end. Okay, there is option R, I think, recursive. Okay, so recursively we can check, and we also have better command tree disocue. Okay, I like this command more, but sometimes what happens, you need to see this as well, and I think I did not show you this one. Okay, so you can recursively check what are the contents inside the file. Okay, and where I use this tree is very helpful. Like you have any project, for example, you clone any repository from the GitHub, and you wanted to see the project structure. Okay, and especially like if you are doing the build for the Maven application and you don't know what structure it's get created. So what you could do, you could use tree command. Okay, which is really helpful. And if you find tree is not recognized as a command or something, so this is the apt get install tree. Okay, this is the command you could use. Okay, and yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but you could execute this command and you will get. But Linux is very amazing. It give you the help, okay, or hint at the same time when you are executing any of the command and which is not there. All right, so come back to the point. Like I said, I use this option which I like most. So tree disocube. Okay, this is where I could simply see where is what. Okay, instead of using ls-r and disocube, something like this. Okay, so both gives the recursive, so it's your preference what you want. My preference is this one, so this is the option by which you could see. And now this is the time to execute this one. I'm not going to use I and V option. Okay, so when you use this option, let me put hash and we see something like this. Okay, I'm not going to remove this because these are the it's my scripts. I was testing for something. I will show you later in file management. Okay, this is dangerous command, as I said, recursively, forcefully. So it is not going to ask you, should I perform this or not? It means you are asking, you know what you are doing and what you want it to be performed or what it want to be done. Okay, so we want this folder and inside everything to be deleted. Okay, and when I hit enter, everything has gone and there is no go back. So always careful. That's why I say this is one of the dangerous command, but at the same time, it is also very powerful command. Okay, so execute it carefully. Okay, don't ever run this command over here. If you remove this, again, there are a lot of system files in this. It is not going to be, but it's a test system. I would say if you are new, you are exploring, just do it once. Okay, so at least experience, but not on real system. Okay, so just to on your virtual machine, do it, and you will know what it does. All right. So now it's a quiz time. Very first question. So what does cp command do? Move files and directories, copies files and directory, remove files and directory, print the current directory. All right, so let's see the answer. Copies files and directories. Okay, so it's option C. All right, next, what does mv command do? move or rename files and directories. Option B is copies files and directories. Option C, remove files and directory. And option D is create new directories. Okay, so for this answer is A, move or rename files and directory. We saw MV is a command which can, the same command can be helpful using moves for moving as well as the renaming the file. Okay, and where we can find the details. So yes, for any of the commands, just write main and whatever command you want to see. Okay, after that command. So main is the manual page and the name of the command, and you will find. Okay, and main, and we know for CD there is no manual entry. All right, so that's why I explained more over there. And good, very good. So thank you very much for participation. And if I have something for participation, so yeah, this is for you guys. Thank you. Let's see the next. What does rm command do? Remove files and directories, rename files and directory, copies files and directories, displays the current directory. All right, so let's see the answer. RM is for remove. Okay, so remove like move MV command it's to move. Okay, and rename. Similarly, RM command is remove files in the directory. Okay, how many questions we have? Okay, we have some more. So let's go ahead and see next one. What does the touch command do? Create empty files or update timestamps, remove files, move files, display files. Thank you guys for participation. Please go ahead and answer. I mean, this is just for fun, right? It's nobody is judging, right? Just for fun. So we know, okay, what we have learned and so on and so forth. Okay, so touch is the command, right, to create empty lists, sorry, empty files and update timestamp. Let's see the answer. So yeah, I have explained you, right? So touch is the command. So whenever we want to create empty, and I also explain you when you have to use this. So when you have something like yeah, requirement where you need a file beforehand, like you are buying a notebook to write your own Linux notes in advance, something like that. Okay, I don't know it's analogical good, but that's a schema. Next question. So what does RMDIR command do? So remove empty directories, remove files, create directories, move directories. Good, good. So first was this one. Okay, then we will see the answer. So yes, exactly. RMDIR, removing the directory, empty directories. Okay. Next question. What does the empty dir command do? Remove directories, create new directories, moves directory, displays directories, and yeah, four options. All right. Answers are coming. Very nice. Very nice. Guys, come on. Yes, exactly. So answer B is correct. So create new directories, right? I explained the option, right? In which this we can also use the dash P option, right? So thank you very much, guys, for your participation. That's really amazing. And this was the last question, and we are now end of the session. Today we learn about how we can navigate. Okay, and just to today was just a warm up. Next, we are going to see about the files, and that is really important, and that will be a base for our permissions of the files and all these things. So don't miss out. And if you found it helpful and easy to follow, please support the channel. The easiest way is to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one.